It was the hottest day of the year. The air itself seemed to tremble. Streets were empty. Even the dogs hid in the shade. I remember the date clearly, August the 20th. I'd been working all day, sketching a strange picture. A courtroom. A judge in black robes and a man standing in the dock. A man who looked terrified. The man in my drawing, Wakai, was me. I don't know what made me draw it. I'd never been in trouble with the law. Never even inside a courtroom. Yet when I finished, I felt as though something had drawn me. I looked at the clock, 11:30. I was drenched in sweat, dizzy. I had to get out, so I walked. No destination, no reason, just the need to move. At some point, I found myself far from home on a quiet street at the edge of town. There was a small stone yard, and a man working there, shirtless, chiseling a large block of marble. The sound of hammer and chisel echoed through the heat. I stopped to watch. He looked up, wiped his forehead, and smiled faintly. "Terrible weather," he said. "Awful," I answered. Then I saw what he was carving. It was a tombstone, freshly cut. The name already engraved, James Clarence Withencroft. My name, I felt the world tilt. I laughed, and a dry, nervous sound. "That's strange," I said. "That's my name." The stonemason's smile faded. He looked at me, really looked, and his face went pale. We stared at each other. Neither of us spoke. The only sound was the slow tick of his hammer against stone. Then he whispered, "Come inside, please." I followed him into a small room behind the workshop. He offered me a glass of water, his hand trembling. On the table lay his tools and a sheet of paper with a rough sketch, a man's face. My face. He told me he'd started carving that morning, said he didn't know why he chose that name. Said he always carved the name after getting an order, but this time he just felt like it. We sat there in silence. The heat pressed against the windows. Both of us sweating, both of us afraid to say what we were thinking. I asked him for the date again. He said, "August 20th, I nodded. Then I asked, "What time is it?" He glanced at the clock on the wall. 11:30, he said. Exactly the moment I'd finished my drawing that morning. We both knew something was wrong, something beyond reason. He begged me to stay with him until evening, so we could make sense of it. We talked, we smoked, we tried to laugh, but when the sun began to set, the shadows on the wall grew longer, and he started carving again. Not the tombstone, but the date beneath my name. He stopped halfway through, looked at me. Then at the clock it said 11 o'clock night. That's where my story ends. If you read it tomorrow and find that date, you'll know whether I'm still alive